so it's just amazing to see how big it's grown. So thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. So when we founded ESA, we identified 3 goals, 3 pillars that we wanted to commit ourselves to through our programming and our efforts, and we identified those as community outreach, education, and philanthropy. And so we did that because we recognize the privilege that we have as first-generation Americans and college students, and the importance of this platform and what we can do to drive positive change in our community. So each year, ESA is committed to donating to an Eritrean initiative to help Eritreans directly. So we previously worked with these 2 organizations. In the spring of 2023, when we first started, we said we're going to start small. We're going to collect supplies for Eritrean orphans. And we found a wonderful orphanage in Eritrea called Godai Orphanage. Check it out. We said we're going to start small and we're going to help these students. In our first school year, in 2024, we worked with the Eritrean Hearing and Visually Impaired nonprofit. It's based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they provide resources, like a bunch of type of resources for hearing and visually impaired Eritreans. And so we got a little ambitious. We said, we're gonna raise $1,000. Mind you, we come from humble beginnings. It was rough for the first few months, so we were like, where are we getting this money? And with the support of our general body members, the local Ohio State community, departments, student organizations, students, and the local Eritrean community, we were able to accomplish these goals. So let me tell you what we did. Through a multitude of fundraising initiatives, including a school supply drive, a kickball tournament, dodgeball tournament, cookouts, food sale events, service projects where we literally would get up on Sunday mornings and clean up campus, bake sales where we would stand in the freezing cold and serve shahi and hambasha to random people walking by, crowdfunding, and we even had these really cute, you see those cupcakes? We sat and wrapped each flag and stuck them in a cupcake and served those as well. We did this with crowdfunding and so much work, so much more, and we were able to collect dozens of supplies and provide 50 Eritrean orphans with a multitude of school supplies, including a backpack and everything you could possibly imagine, ship that back. In addition to that, in our first school year, remember that $1,000 goal we didn't know how we were going to reach? So we actually exceeded that goal, and we raised $1,500 to help EHVI and their initiatives in Eritrea. Yeah, you already did it, but I want to just shout out again our general body members who participated in all these events, the departments, the student organizations, the random white people who walked by and tried our habasha. With that being said, we said we're going to do this every year. So I want to tell you a little bit about the initiative ESA committed to supporting this year. So Haben-Eri is a nonprofit based out of Atlanta, Georgia. It was founded in 2022, and they work to support disabled Eritrean veterans. We are partnering with Haben-Eri to raise $1,000 to fund mobile clinics in remote areas of Eritrea. And we are also, fun fact, just another thing, we have a raffle going in the back, so when you guys get up soon, feel free to participate in the raffle because the funds from that raffle are going towards Haben-Eri as well. And we're actually so lucky to be joined by some Haben-Eri's leaders. They're sitting somewhere back here, who came all the way from Atlanta to support us tonight, so please give them a round of applause. Only able to tell you a little bit about this project, and who better to hear more about it from than Haben-Eri themselves. And we're so blessed to be joined by someone from their board of directors, Dr.Berhe Habtegiorgis, who's going to tell you some more about Haben-Eri, so please give him a warm welcome.
Well, I don't know where to start. I'm completely overwhelmed with the performance that I watched tonight with you. I just couldn't imagine how these young folks in such a short period of life could have mastered that culture, all the elements of the culture. to perfection. And I'm extremely enlightened about their commitment. And I'm also exhilarated about the future the country has. When such people living thousands of miles away, born here, could perform these cultural events to such level of perfection, I can't imagine how the young folks growing up in Eritrea are performing. You know, you all know the young generation, the Sawa generation, is a completely new breed. Completely. I grew up during the British administration period in Eritrea. I was born and raised in Eritrea during that period. And I saw what kind of development took place in that society. And so now we have an entirely new generation, the Sawa generation. And the reflection of the Sawa generation is these young people that we just watched tonight. It's an entirely new generation, a product of the struggle for independence or war for independence generation. These are the people who fought, the parents of these kids and grandparents are the ones who fought an enemy 20 times their size, supported by the superpowers of the day, the two superpowers, the Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc, and the United States and the Western Bloc. They supported the Ethiopian government, which was already 20 times the size of the Eritrean population. These people had no support, nothing. And I saw it happen in front of my eyes. They came out, created organizations, solved their problems. They had myriads of problems, solved their problems bit by bit, and created one of the most formidable military forces in the world. And world history doesn't give Eritreans the recognition they deserve, but time will tell. And this young generation are a product of that process. The kids that we have in Ethiopia now, literacy rate in Eritrea, the young generation in Eritrea, literacy rate is over 80%. It's one of the highest in Africa and anywhere in the world for that matter. And for Eritreans, economic development is going to be just a matter of time. And we see it happening, cropping up. It starts with feeding the people, self-reliance, self-independence. And it's taking place there. And I give them about 5 to 10 years time, hopefully in my lifetime. And we will see Eritrea emerging as one of the fastest developing countries in the world. I'm mentioning all this because what I see happening here, thousands and thousands of miles away from Eritrea, is a reflection of the Eritrean spirit. It's a reflection of what's happening in Eritrea. And I hope our enemies are going to learn a lesson for their own good. No matter what, Eritrea takes its steps cautiously and it does things in such a way that nobody could distract it from what it wants to do. Because what it wants to do is help its people, not conquer other people's territories. Although our enemies, especially the ones across the border, they pride themselves by saying that, oh, we're big, we're this, we had a 3,000-year history, and we deserve to have access to the sea. We need to control the sea. It's not access to the sea, it's control of the sea. They want to have their military, their navy there, and control everything that happens there, and eventually, of course, colonize Eritrea and put us under their control. That's what they want. So they will never see this kind of dream come to reality. And Eritrea is going to be a winner again and again. It has won.
I'm sorry.
And what we saw tonight is actually a reinforcement of this idea. We are here as a group this weekend from Atlanta, Georgia. We are members of an association, the Eritrean Haben-Eri. Haben means pride, Eri, Eritrean Pride Association. It's an association formed to help Eritrean war veterans of the War of Independence. Remember, big price has been paid for this independence. So many people, thousands of them have been wounded, disabled, and they're still alive. They need help. The government helps them. The government does everything it can. But we could also help in addition to what the government is doing. And an association has been formed, and we have been working on this regard for the last 5-6 years all over the United States. We are in Atlanta, but we have ties with all the different cities. And Columbus has now emerged to be one of the most aspiring, prospective associations that would work tirelessly to help in this national endeavor. And I want everybody to take to heart the situation of the veterans, the fighters, the freedom fighters who were disabled and need some help in addition to what they are already getting. And I think you can contribute. Everybody, every member of the community here should be able to participate in this activity and actually win other supporters also. Bring other supporters, not only Eritreans, but Americans and other nationals in this area. That's what we try to do. And I want you to remember that this is the way we try to honor our heroes. This is the way we also honor our martyrs, people who died, who gave up their life. We can't help them now, but the ones that are wounded, the ones that need help and are with us, we could help them. So by saying, Zahri Sama'tatna, that's the way to remember our Sama'tat. Okay? So I want you to remember tonight's occasion as a starting point for a big endeavor, for a big commitment on all of us, on our part and your part, to support our disabled veterans. Thank you very much.